Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel, back for the last deck of the week, and we're going to look, as I promised yesterday, Victor Valgavoth's Seneschal. I hope I'm saying Valgavoth's name right and Seneschal right, but anyway, one white and black for a 3/3 human warlock, and it has Eerie, which is a new ability that when enchantments and rooms enter the play, they've called it Eerie. Makes sense, you know, dodgy rooms coming into play, we get the hang of it in enchantments, but this one's nice. So whenever you get the first time it triggers in a turn, you get to surveil 2. The second time, every opponent discards a card. And if it's the third time, you may put a creature card from any graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Yeah. So we have a new black-white enchantment based deck, and yeah, Victor Valgavoth Seneschal is quite good from my point of view, and this is how I've built today's deck. And how I've built it is to really go down a bit of the aura thing. So there's a lot of cards in here you'll have seen before in other black-white aura decks when I've done them. So Light Pools kicks off to go and find an aura. And then we've got Saram, the Senior Edificer, to go and draw the cards when we cast the auras. Transcendent Envoy cuts down the cost of our auras. And Underworld Coinsmith, because I wanted something in here that did a bit more Constellation to go alongside the Eerie stuff, does the whole life gain bit. So that's pretty good for us. Acclaimed Contender comes in from one of the sets, like how much one it is now. Enters the battlefield, you can find an aura or equipment or a legendary artifact, put them in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library. Arden, the Intrepid Archaeologist, lets us move them all around at the beginning of combat on our turn. Auramancer brings it back from the graveyard. Danith cuts the cost. Erity, the Charmed Apple, comes back in as well from the Eldraine set, which I've completely forgotten the name of now, but you all know the one. Each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control can't attack your planeswalkers you control, so that's quite nice. It gives you a bit of a way of shutting down something that's annoying. But at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of auras you control, which is really what Ereti's in here for. Harvengast Eslids comes in, prevents all damage when we get auras coming into play or enchantments. Heliod's Pilgrim goes and finds us another aura. Pearl Ear Imperial Advisor, lifelink. Enchantment spells you have cast have affinity for aura, and whenever you cast an aura spell that targets a modified permanent, so whenever you cast one that's already got an aura attached to it, target that permanent, you get to draw a card. Quite like that, that's nice. Unforgiving One, it just does return target creature card with mana value X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of modified creatures we control, and since we are into auras there should be quite a few. Agent of Eberroth, it does the whole exile all cards from target player's graveyard, so it keeps everything under control and annoys people. Ajani's Chosen gives us the cats and we can put the auras on it. Archon of Sun's Grace, if you saw earlier in the week, it does the whole Pegasus flying thing. And Archon of the Wild Rose, yeah. Let's put all our auras on creatures, make them 4/4 flyers, and then they get the bonus for the aura attached to them. Like this card a lot. Played this in Standard a lot, still like it. Anyway, Armoured Sky Hunter lets us look at the top 6 and get an aura. Halavar, God of Battle. Creatures you control that are enchanted or equipped have double strike, and you can move the auras around as well at the beginning of each combat if you want to. Captivating Unicorn gives us a way to tap down creatures with auras when coming into play. Doomwake Giant makes everything smaller when we play enchantments, including our auras. And it's gone really bright outside, so bear with me 1 second. Deadbringer Lampreys does the whole gives all target creature intimidate, so it can't be blocked except by creatures that share a colour with their artifact creatures. Totem Guide Heartbeast lets us go and find an aura and put it in our hand. Heavenly Blade Master, there you go. This is great. I do like this card. The more I play this card, the more I appreciate it in Commander. When it enters the battlefield, you can put all your auras or equipment onto it, and then everything else gets +1/+1 for each one equipped attached to it. So it's really good. And then Thought Render Lamia, when enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, everyone discards a card apart from you. Yeah, like that. That's fun for Commander. We have a few spells, not too many. We just have Damn and Damnation to control the board. Rise of the Dark Realms, I'm determined to win off casting this card once. And then replenish. Brings back all the auras that we're going to get to in a minute back into our play if we need them to, if they've all been disenchanted or got rid of or something's happened to them. We'll just bring them all back. Artifact wise, it's mainly ramp today. Tantalite, Talisman, Elixir to reshuffle everything back in. Soul Ring, Signet, Diamond, Medallion, Signet, Medallion, Talisman. There you go. They're all here. Nothing fancy, just pure ramp for this one in the artifact slot today. But then we have all of these, and we have quite a few, and we have some rooms as well I've added in. So, Ethereal Armour does the whole +1/+1. Griff's Boon for the +1 and flying. All that glitters makes something the biggest threat you've ever seen in this deck. Eternal Thirst, 1 lifelink and +1/+1 counter when a creature an opponent controls dies. Murder Investigation does the whole put X +1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play when it dies, where X is its power. Necrogen Communion just brings the card back and gives it toxic. Rune Immortality gives something death touch and you get a card draw out of it. Likewise, Rune of Sustenance does lifelink and you get a card draw out of it. Spirit Loop just lets the creature gain that much life when it deals damage. This is not lifelink, so you can attach this and the Rune of Sustenance to the same creature and get a whole bunch of life. But when Spirit Loop is put in the graveyard from play, you get to put it back in your hand, so unless they exile it, it's coming back. Cathar's Call gives the creature vigilance, and at the end step you get a token, a 1/1 guy. Griffin Guide, +2/+2 and flying, and when it dies you get 2/2 Griffin. Hope Against Hope gives you, each enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each creature we control, and if you put it on a human, which Victor is up here, there you go, where is he? There you go, up there, human warlock, gives it first strike, so that's quite nice on Victor. Commanding Presence does the +2/+2 first strike, and when it deals combat damage to a player you get a human soldier token, 1/1. Daxos's Torment I bought in just for the laugh factor. This is just a pure enchantment that sits in play. And when another enchantment enters the play, it becomes a 5/5 demon in addition, with flying and haste in addition to its other types. So you play this for 4 mana, you get it for 5 somewhere if you can. And it's quite good because it keeps coming back every turn. Boon of the Spirit Realm just gets silly. With the amount of things we have going on here, the amount of blessing counters we get to put on it, our creatures get very big very quickly because we are playing so many enchantments. There's 24 in the deck. There's more enchantments here than there, well, one less enchantment. There's one more creature than there are enchantments, so you should be able to trigger this quite a lot. Commander's Authority. At the beginning of your upkeep, get another 1/1 soldier token. Not great, and it's 5 mana, but the soldiers do help. You do need some fodder. And then we have some of the rooms. So the Defiled Crypts in again, so when something leaves your graveyard, you get a 2/2 horror token, and then when you unlock the door again, you get to return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So that's quite nice for the Cadiver Lab in this. Skybind. Enters the battlefield, another enchantment enters under your control. Exile target non-enchantment permanent, and then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. It's great with some of the ones that have comes into play effects, like the Pilgrim, for example. Going from there, Spectral Ward. I like this card. Enchanted creature has +2/+2 and has protection from all colours. This effect does not remove auras. Okay then. Surgical Suite in Hospital Room does the whole +1/+1 counter on an attacking creature, and you get to bring something back that costs 3 or less. Dazzling Theatre, creatures spells you cast have Convoke, which helps, but then you get to untap all your creatures during each other player's untap step. Very nice. Probably better in some other decks, but it's okay in here. The Dollmaker's Shop gives us our tokens that we know about, and then once we unlock it, we get to make our creatures. The power and toughness equals the number of creatures we control. Secret Arcade and Dusty Parlour, non-land permanents you control and permanent spells you control are enchantments in addition, and whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to that spell's mana value on up to 1 target creature. Okay then. And then Funeral Room, Awakening Hall. Whenever a creature you control dies, everyone loses 1, we gain 1. And when you unlock the door, creature can return all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield at 8 mana. 1 less than Rise of the Dark Realms, but still a lot of mana to do it. Beyond that, we are a bit light on lands, I'm aware of this. There's 35 lands in the deck, black and white lands all the way through. You should be okay with it, I think. I will point out we have got Hall of Heliod's Generosity in here. It works so well in this deck just to put all our enchantments back if things go pear-shaped. Or if there's one you really do need to draw, you can bring it back and do it that way. Tainted Fields in here, went old school, so we got the Tainted Field in, so we get the white or the black depending if we've got Swamp or not. And then Urborg, Tomb of the Valgavoth, makes everything else a swamp for us. And that, very quickly, is it. It's nice from my point of view that we have another commander that worries about enchantments. I've gone with the aura things. I suspect there is a proper enchantment deck somewhere, because I know I haven't got Smothering Tithe in here. I know there's some of the big white enchantments that you would expect to see in the deck not here. But I want to focus on the auras. I may come back to Victor in a few weeks' time and have a look at a pure enchantment deck that doesn't even work around your auras to try and make it work. But for now, if you've got any ideas about that or auras you think I should have in the deck, just remember, before we go, that some people suggest cards, sometimes they're not always available on Magic Online. Since I tend to play mostly on MTGO now, those cards will be missing from the decks, just so we're clear on this. But if there is anything, leave me a comment down below. As I've been recording this video, I've had 2 more people join the channel, so we're up to 519 now, so thank you very much to both of you. And yeah, I'll be back next week sometime, small deck text. So for now, thanks for watching, take care, see you soon, bye.